going to show you how you can create good email campaigns that convert at a high rate to send to your email list. So if you're an e-commerce brand owner or if you're an e-commerce operator and you're struggling with ad costs, you should be focusing on your email list. And this video is going to show you how you can create high converting emails that will make sales. Now, the smartest Greek philosophers came up with this simple persuasion framework over 2,000 years ago. I learned these principles from Ori, my B2B sales coach, and I'm going to show you how you can apply this to create high converting email campaigns to your email list. So I'm going to explain what this diagram means. Over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle came up with three pillars of persuasion, and they are ethos, pathos, and logos. Now, these principles of persuasion, their goal is to persuade. So in the context of e-commerce, you're persuading a customer to buy. And how they used to do this, they would use language, and we continue to do this, but they're the ones that pointed this out. They use language that appeal to character and credibility to get the audience to trust the speaker so that they'll be convinced by the speaker. Or they'll get the audience to like the speaker or get moved by what the speaker said. And with that emotion, they get convinced by what the speaker is trying to persuade them of. The last thing is an appeal to logic, which is the speaker breaking down logically why they should believe what the speaker is trying to convince them to believe. How does this apply to e-commerce? Well, first thing is, if your email campaigns, do they appeal to ethos? Do they make your email list and your readers trust your brand more? This is the first filter, and this is usually the first thing that can build the foundation of persuasion. So practically, what does this mean? It means including customer reviews and testimonials inside of your campaigns, including user-generated content, UGC, collecting more UGC, because you guys probably know you should be doing that. Collaborating with influencers and including them on your email list in your marketing. Showing behind the scenes manufacturing, showing how the process of your product is getting made so that they'll know that you guys aren't just a drop shipping brand. They'll know that you guys are a legitimate brand with amazing products. A brand story campaign talking about how your brand started, the values of your brand, the mission of your brand, and that you guys aren't just corporate machines who want their money for money's sake, that you guys have a mission. Press features are before and after results. All of this get your customers to trust you more, and this is the foundation. This is the first filter of your campaigns. The next filter is pathos. You got to get your customers to like your brand. If they trust you but they don't like you, they're not going to be emotionally moved by the campaign to take action. So think about this like a rubber band. If you have a rubber band and it's flaccid, you pull on it. I think of credibility. I think of ethos on the previous slide. I think of ethos as how tough and how much force the rubber band can withhold. So if a very thin, very weak rubber band, you pull on it a little bit, it breaks. That's a rubber band. That rubber band is an email campaign that does not include trust. That's the relationship. If you don't have trust, snap. So what is pathos? What is in this analogy, rubber band analogy? In the rubber band analogy, pathos is the energy, the potential energy that is being pulled. So the more emotion you can drive, the more emotion you can create, and the more you can convince them to like your product because of the emotions you're creating in them, you're appealing to their emotions, the more the rubber band can pull. And since you have the foundation of credibility, you can pull that slack really far. Now, how do you get content and get information so that you can pull this slack really far? Two methods, very practical. One, create a Google Doc and ask yourself these two questions. What are the main emotions associated with your brand? List out the three biggest emotions you can think of. Then ask, what are the emotions that relate most to the pain that you are alleviating with your product? List these 6 emotions and rank them based off of the most important ones, and make sure that all your email campaigns include them. Next, instead of thinking in your head and just imagining things and thinking brainstorming by yourself, you can ask feedback from the market and from your existing customers. So you go on typeform.com, you create a type form with 10 questions that ask feedback from your customers, and you get responses. Send this to your entire email list and you'll get responses. And you want to pull responses out of Typeform into a spreadsheet, read through all the responses, find the most common responses that is associated with positive emotions, and you're gonna list out the three most common emotions. Now you have 9 emotions, or now you have an overlapping emotions. If you can find emotions that overlap with this question, and the survey, then you have found the main emotion that motivate people to buy your product. And that's the emotion, and that's the angle, and that's the feeling you want to give in every single campaign you send. The last thing is logos. Does it make sense? Logos appeals to logic. So you want your product not just to appeal to emotion. In the rubber band analogy, we have the credibility holding the rubber band and being tough and helping it withstand enough force that the emotions drive. Emotions, if you have ammo from emotions, the language you have, the emotions, the language you took from the typeform responses, and you pull, you have this much force. I think of logic as the release. If you have all this force, all this emotional reason, but your customers have logical objections like, does this even ship to my country? Do you guys have a money back? This is too expensive. These logical objections will prevent them from making a purchase, but they're so close. So you want to address them in your email campaigns as well. This practically, what does this look like? This looks like including specific information about how long shipping takes. Not just that, fast shipping. You also want to talk about shipping, how long in which regions, 5 to 10 days, 10 to 14 days. You want to be specific. Does this product work for me? Who does this product work for? If they know it's going to work for them and they don't have any objections otherwise, they're going to buy because they have all that emotion built up, and they're going to buy. Is there a guarantee? Maybe they're more of a iffy. They've been scammed before. They want to have a reassurance that your product is good, and that if your product is not something that they want, they can get a refund, or that you guys believe in your product so much that you put a guarantee on it. And that last thing is just pricing. You guys play around with pricing. This is not directly related to email marketing, but pricing is an important factor. And how you can adjust this is by changing the offers with the promotions. Now, this is just a framework I have to filtering content, and I'm pulling from Greek philosophy, and this is how I like to think. So